أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربي اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again in another live session on Surah Al-Baqarah, and inshallah today we will be doing ayah 101 till 105 inshallah. So first, as usual, we will be starting by reciting the surah, and inshallah we will see the tajweed rules in every ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. Now, inshallah, we will see the tajweed rules in each ayah and we'll try to understand, inshallah. And meanwhile, while I'm explaining the rules, if you have any questions, you are welcome to comment below, and inshallah, I will try to answer your questions. So let's start from here. First word is walamma. Walamma جاءهم رسول من عند الله. واو فتح وا، لام ميم فتح لم، ولم ميم alif fatha ma, walamma. So whenever you see the shadda sign on top of meme, do gunna here, nasalization. Why we do this nasalization here? If you want to know more about it, let me know and I will explain this rule. Okay, but if you want to remember, simply you see, whenever you see the shadda on top of meme, just hold the sound of meme by doing the nasalization. Walamma ma. So whenever you see there is a fatha before alif, okay, fatha before alif, it means that this alif is madda, and we read the madda letters by stretching them up to one alif or one count or two counts. Walamma, walamma ja'ahum, ja'ahum. In order to understand mad, first you have to understand the role of alif here. Okay, so if you see there is a fatha before alif, alif is madda. So after the madda letters, if you see hamza in the same word, okay, if you see hamza after madda letters in the same word, then this stretch, this mad is called madde muttasil. And amount of the stretching of this mad is 2.5 alifs. So you have to say walamma ja'ahum, ja'ahum, ja'ahum rasulum. Ra is heavy whenever you see the fatha on it. So here we will read ra heavy. Seen, waw the masu, rasu. We have stretched waw here. Same alif was madda here. Waw is madda here. And what are the rulings for waw to be madda? It should be having a sukoon sign on top of it. It should be silent and there should be a dhamma before it. So if you see this situation, now this waw is madda. Madda letters are such letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif. Rasulum, rasulum. Lam, mim to dhamma, lum. So you have to merge the sounds as well as you have to do gunna in the mim sound. This rule is called idgham. Idgham means to merge. Okay, so sometimes we are doing the idgham with gunna for some letters and sometimes we do without gunna. So here you have idgham meaning merging with gunna. Rasulum, rasulum min indi. Mim nun kasra min, ain nun kasra in, dal kasra di. Indi. So I have read this noon incomplete and I have hidden the sound. This rule is called ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide. So whenever you see certain letters, so you have to hide the noon sound. These letters are called ikhfa and dal is one of these. So you have to do ikhfa here. You have to hide this noon sound. You have to say iyodi, iyodi. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ. Now, dal, lam kasra dil, lam kal fatha la, dilla, and ha kasra hi, dillahi. Now, this lam of the word Allah, we have to read it light, because there is a kasra before it. So if there is a fatha or dhamma before it, we are reading it heavy. So here this lam is heavy, light. Dillahi. Mim the mamu. Sod dal fatha sad. Musad dal kasra di. Musaddi. Qaf lam to the maqul lam kasra li. Qulli. Musaddi qulli. Sod is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters. Musta'aliya letters are the 7 letters among 29 Arabic alphabets which we read heavy. and qaf is also one of these. Swad is heavy, qaf is heavy, and here we have done idgham with gunna. Here we will do idgham meaning merging, but this time we will do without nasalization, without gunna. Musaddiqul lima. Qaf lam to the maqul, lam kasra li, kulli. Mim alif fatha ma, kulli ma. Same here, alif was madda, alif madda. Here also alif madda. Same pattern is repeating if you observe. So whenever you see the fatha sign before alif, this alif is madda. What does it mean? It means we will read this alif by stretching it up to one alif, or one, about like the time you take to say alif one time, that much. Musaddiqul lima, musaddiqul lima, ma'ahum, ma'ahum nabadha. Mim fatha ma, ain fatha a, ma'a, ha mim damahum, ma'ahum. This ain should be pronounced from the middle of the throat, okay, because it's a halkiya letter and there is a bit squeeze sound when you say ma'ahum. If you say ma'ahum, it will replace itself with hamza sound and there will be a mistake which is lahni jali, clear mistake, and it can change the meaning of Quranic words. So we have to avoid and we have to learn the correct pronunciation. Ain is from the exactly from the middle of the throat. Ma'ahum, nabadha, nabadha. Noon fatha na, ba fatha ba, naba, zal fatha the, nabadha, the. Now if I say nabazza, again I will fall into lahni jali, which can change the meaning of Quranic words. So it's nabadha, the. Zal is pronounced with the tip of the tongue when it touches the inner edges of your top two front teeth. So never pronounce it like a za. Okay, you have to suppress the sound. You have to keep touching the tongue with the upper and inner edges of your top two front teeth. Nabadha, nabadha. Okay. مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. Fa fatha fa, ra ya kasra ri, fari, qaf mim to the qum, fariqum. Qaf is heavy. Before that, let's see this ya. Before ya sakin, there is a kasra, so we have stretch here. Ya is madda. Fari. Qaf mim to the qum, fariqum. Qaf is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters or heavy letters. And after the tanween or noon sakin, if you see letter mim, you will do idgham with gunna. Idgham means to merge the sounds and gunna means nasalization. So here we will merge as well as we will do nasalization. Fariqum, fariqum, minalladhina, minalladhina. Mim kasra mi, noon lam fatanal, minal lam fatala, minal zal ya kasra dhi. Same pattern. Before ya sakin, you see there is a kasra. So this ya is madda. What does it mean? It means we have to read this ya by stretching it up to one alif. The time we take to say alif one time. Okay. So there is a light stretch in the pronunciation. Minalladhina, minalladhina, utul kitaba. Hamza waw dama u. Same, this ya was madda. Waw is also madda here. So what is the rule for waw to be madda? It needs to be sakin like this, having sukun on top, and there should be a dama before it. For ya sakin, there should be a kasra before it. For waw sakin, there should be a dama before it. In this case, waw is madda, ya is madda. And for alif, as I have explained before, there should be a fatha before it. Okay, alif will be alif. It's not having any sign on top. مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب أوتوا همزة واو دما أو تا لام دما تل أوتوا كاف كسرة كي أوتوا الكي. Ta is having vertical fatha. So same like madda letters, we read vertical harkat by stretching up to one alif. Kitaba. If I say kitaba, it will be wrong. Kitaba. Kaf kasra ki, ta vertical fatha ta. Kitaba fatha ba. Kitaba. فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله كتاب الله. Now, what are the rules here for this lam? Very important. Whenever you see there is a fatha before the letter lam in the word Allah. Okay. So I'm specifically speaking for the word Allah. If you see anywhere else the letter lam, it will always be light. But in the word Allah, we read the lam sometimes heavy and sometimes light. It depends on what comes before it. So if there is a fatha before it, this lam is heavy. If there is a dhamma before it, again this lam is heavy. But if there is a kasra before it, like this in dillahi, then the lam is light. So here we have this lam heavy because of this fatha before it. Kaf kasra ki, ta vertical fatha ta, kita, ba lam fatha bal, lam vertical fatha la, ballah, ballah. Ha kasra hi, kitaballahi, kitaballahi, wara'a. Wa fatha wa, ra fatha ra, wara. Ra is also heavy because there is a fatha on top of it. So this lam and ra, these are not from musta'aliya letters. These are not from the heavy letters because these are heavy under certain conditions. But the heavy letters like Sod, Qaf and the other musta'aliya letters, these are heavy under any condition. No matter whatever sign is there on top of it, are they sakin or not sakin, you will read them. But here these are according to situations. Wara'a, wa fatha wa, ra fatha ra, and after ra fatha you see there is alif. Before this alif there is a fatha, so this alif is madda. Okay, so after madda letter, if you see hamza in the same words, this is a one word, and you see hamza soon after this alif as a madda, or if you see any madda letters and hamza after it, so this will be madde muttasil. This stretch here is madde muttasil. Mad means to stretch, and the amount is 2.5 alifs. Wara'a dhuhurihim, dhuhurihim. Dha, the madhu, dha is from the heavy letters, musta'aliya letters like qaf and sod. Ha, wa, dhamma, hu. Now, waw sakin, before that you see there is a dhamma. So this waw is madda. Ra kasra ri, ha mim kasra him. Dhuhurihim, dhuhurihim. Dha is heavy. Dhuhurihim, ka'annahum. We have to hold this noon sound in order to pronounce gunna. Ka'annahum. Ka fataka, hamza, nun fata an. Ka'an, nun fata na. Ka'anna, ha mim damahum. Ka'annahum. Ka'annahum. Whenever you see the shadda sign on top of noon, just simply do nasalization here. And if you see what are the rulings here, basically this is idgham with a gunna, because there are two noon. If you open this shadda, one noon is sakin having sukoon sign and other noon is having fatha. So after noon sakin, if you see noon which is from the yarmalun letters, you do idgham, merging as well as nasalization. So ka'annahum, ka'annahum la ya'lamun, la ya'lamun. Lam alif fatha la, ya ain fatha ya, la ya, lam fatha la, mim waw dhamma mu, la ya'lamun. Now here again, if you see, same pattern is repeating. That alif is having no sign here, so alif is here, and before that there is a fatha, so this alif is madda. We will give it a stretch up to one alif, la, like this. Ya'lamun. Ain is from the middle of the throat. Our throat is divided into three parts: lower, middle and upper part. And from the middle part of the throat we pronounce two letters, ain and ha. Ain and ha. Unlike any other language, Arabic letters are not pronounced from the mouth. There are few letters which are from the throat, some from the tongue, some from the lips. Okay, for nasalization we use our nose. So this is quite different pattern here. So Ain is from the middle of the throat. Ya'lamun. I have stretched this vaw, which is madda, up to 3 counts or up to 3 alifs. Ya'lamun. Because I have applied the rule of madde arid lis sakun here. What is this rule? Same like these mad, there is a mad which is not visible here. You have to point it out by yourself when you're reciting, and it's a very easy way. I will inshallah explain how to do it. If you see that your ayah is completing here, okay, this is ayah completion sign, you have to pause. And the last letter is not silent, it's having a harka. Ya'lamuna, it's written. But when we pause, we drop off the harka from the last letter and we make it silent, sakina. So if we do this, and if our second last letter is our madda letter, then we have option to stretch up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif. And the best is to stretch it up to 3 alif. So that's why this rule is called madde arid, means stretch which is temporary, lis sakun in case of sakun. La ya'lamun. La ya'lamun. So let's see this ayah again. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان. واو تا فتا وتا فتا تا وتا با فتا با واتبع عين واو دمعو واتبعوا. So I have directly joined waw with the ta. Whatever was in between, I have just simply ignored it. This rule of shadda or tashdeed, that whenever you see 3 letters, one is, for example, letter A, B, and C. Letter A is having any haraka like fatha, kasra, dhamma. B is having nothing, or even if it's having sukun, and letter C is having shadda. So we need to join A with the C by dropping whatever comes between them. Okay, so preference is given to this shadda now. Waw fatha is needed the most here. So whatever will come between them, we will drop. Waw ta fatha wat ta fatha ta watta ba'u wattaba'u wattaba'u. This waw is madda here again. Okay, I'm repeating what are the madda letters. Madda letters are such letters which we read by stretching them up to 1 alif, because the word mad itself means to stretch. Okay, and there are certain conditions under which we make alif, waw, and ya madda. For waw to be madda, there should be a dhamma before it. Okay, waw should be sakin, having sukun sign, and there should be a dhamma before it. So I can't read it wattaba'u. Wattaba'u. Emphasize on the shadda ones in order to pronounce them twice. And when you are reading madda letter, you have to slightly stretch them. Wattaba'u ma tatlu. Same here, waw was madda, here alif is madda. And before alif, if you see fatha, this alif is madda. Ta, ta, fatha, tat, lam, sheen, dhamma, lush. Same rule, whatever will come between, we will drop. Our preference is to join the one having harka with the one having shadda. Ta, ta, fatha, tat, lam, sheen, dhamma, lush. Tat, lush. Sheen, fatha, sha. Tat, lusha. Ya, vertical fatha, ya. These are also like your madda letters. You have to read them by stretching. Okay. Ma tatlush shayatinu. shayatinu, shayatinu. Ma tatlu shayatinu. Ya is having vertical fatha, so we have stretch. Ta ya kasra, ti. Ta is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters, and it will be under any condition, no matter if there is a kasra, fatha, dama, or whatever sign. Ta is heavy. Ya is having sukoon, and if you see before ya sakina, we have kasra. So it's meeting the requirements to be madda letter. Okay, so we have to read it by stretching it up to one alif. Ma tatlush shayatinu, tinu. Ala, ain fata'a, lam vertical fatha, la. Again, I'm explaining the pronunciation place for the ain. This is from exactly the middle of the throat, and it's a bit squeezing sound. Ara, ara. If you read it it will be a mistake that can change the meaning of Quranic words. Okay, so it's ala, ala. Mulki, mim, lam dama mul, kaf kasra ki, mulki. Sin dama su, lam ya fatha lay, sulay, mim vertical fatha ma, and noon sakin because we are pausing. Sulayman. Or you can carry on reading also, because Jim is giving you a choice. If you want to pause, if you want to carry on, both situations are correct. Here before ya sakin, there is no kasra, so it's not madda, but there is a fatha. So if there is a fatha before it, it's lean here. Lean means to read gentle. Lean letters are such letters which we read gently without stretching or suddenly pausing them. Next is وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ يُعَلِّمُونَ السِّحْرَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله. Let's see the rules from here. وما كفر سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين واو fatha wa, mim alif fatha ma, wa ma. Alif is madda because there is a fatha before it. Kaf fatha ka, fa fatha fa, kafa, ra fatha ra, kafa ra. Ra is heavy because of having fatha on top of it. Sin dama su, lam ya fatha lay, sulay, mim vertical fatha ma, sulay ma. Nun dama nu, Sulaymanu. So we read mim by stretching here because of the vertical fatha. Mahnur Akhtar, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ Waw fatha wa, lam vertical fatha la, wala. Kaf nun kasra kin, noon shin fatha nash, walakin nash, shin fatha sha, walakin nasha, ya vertical fatha, ya. We will stretch. Ta ya kasra ti, shayati, nun fatha na, shayatina. Let me explain the rules here. Walaikum assalam alfiya. Walaikum assalam alfiya. Inshallah, Allah will help you, and may Allah's help be with you, and inshallah it will be good. Read the dua when you start the exam. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Then read Ayatul Kursi, send salawat on Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and ask Allah for help. Wama kafara. So here, as I've explained, alif is madda, so we need to read by stretching it up to one alif. In the word kafara, ra is heavy because of having fatha on the top. So whenever you see fatha or dhamma on ra is heavy. In the word Sulaymana, Sulaymana, lam ya fatha lay. Before ya sakin, if you see fatha, then ya is lean. Lean letters are such letters which we read without stretching or suddenly pausing them. In general, lean means to read gentle. So we read them gently. وَإِيَّاكُمْ أَلْفِيَةً وَلَكِنَّش. Now, lam is having vertical fatha, that's why we have stretched it. Vertical fathas are same like the madda letters, which we read them by stretching up to one alif. Noon is having gunna here. وَلَكِنَّش. وَلَكِنَّش. So whenever you see the shadda on top of noon, you have to do gunna in the sound or nasalization. Shaya, ya I have stretched because of having vertical fatha on the top. And in the word tina, shaya tina, ta ya kasra ti. Ta is heavy because it's from the mutaya or the heavy letters. Under any condition, we need to make it heavy. And again, ya is madda because before ya sakin, if you see kasra, ya is madda. Shayatina kafaru yu'allimuna an-nasa as-sihra. Kafataka, fafatafa, kafa, ra, wadama, ru, kafaru, kafaru. Waw is sakin and before that we have dama. So waw is madda here. Madda letters are such letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif. Okay, so remember from the word mad. Mad means to stretch. So there is a specific pattern for waw to be madda, that it needs to be having sukoon sign on top of it, this sign, and there should be a dhamma before it. Okay, in this situation, waw is madda. Ya dhamma yu, ain lam fatha al, yu'al lam kasra li, yu'alli. Ain is from the middle of the throat, yu'alli. Mim wa dhamma mu. Again, same pattern. Waw is sakina and before that you have dhamma. So this waw is madda here. Read it by stretching up to one alif. Same like this. Kafaru yu'allimu. Kafaru yu'allimu. Nanna. Now this noon is connected with the next noon because of having shadda here. Plus this noon is having ghunna, meaning nasalization. So basically whenever you see the shadda, the letters are twice. This noon is twice here. One is sakin, which is like inbuilt here. Sakina letter, that's why we are reading with the previous letter. And other one is having fatha on the top. Okay, so noon, noon fatha nan, noon alif fatha na, nanna. Seen, seen fatha sas, seen ha kasra sih. Again, two seen we are having here. One is having sukoon, one is having kasra. So the sukoon one we are reading here with this seen. And then other this kasra one with the next ha it's connected. Okay, so try to understand how these are interconnected. يعلمون الناس السحر. Nanna sas sihra. Nanna sas sihra. Yu'allimu nanna sas sihra. Whenever you see like that much connections and you have to read in continuation, I recommend, this is a tip which I'm giving to my students also. First break it down. First say it slowly and then try to read it in continuation. Like this, yu'allimu nanna, yu'allimu nanna sas sihra. Then when you will read in continuation, it will make more sense for you. يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت. وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت. So let's see the rules in this ayah. So this is waw fatha wa, mim alif fatha ma, wa ma. So when we are reading it, wa ma, this alif is madda here. What are the madda letters? Which we read them by stretching up to one alif. So here alif is madda because there is a fatha before it, and after madda letter you see hamza in the next word. Now you can ask, this is not hamza, this is alif having dhamma. Why we are calling it hamza? So remember this rule, whenever alif is having any sign, now it's not alif anymore. We have to call it hamza. It's acting like hamza. Its rules are placed with hamza. By looks it's alif, but now the name has changed. It's alif. It's hamza. This is alif because it's not having any sign. Okay, and this mud is, I will explain right now. But this is hamza. So whenever you see this situation, the stretch is up to 2.5 alif. Okay, wama unzila. After alif madda or any madda letters, if you see hamza in the next word, then this will be madde munfasil, detached mad, and the amount is 2.5 alif. Wama unzila. Here we have noon sakin. Okay, sakin letters are such letters which are carrying this dal shaped small sign which is called sukun, and they are silent. They are not like English silent, which we exclude them in reading. These silent means that sound is paused. Okay, hamza, noon, dama, za, kasra, zi, zila. You have to hide this noon sound. This rule is called ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide the noon sakin or tanween sound under certain conditions. So you see za here after noon sakin. Za is from the ikhfa letters. And there are 15 letters after noon sakin or tanween. If you see them, you have to hide the noon sakin or tanween sound. So here we are hiding the sound. Instead of saying unzila, we have to say unzila, unzila. So when you are hiding, make sure your tongue is not touching anywhere in the mouth. Otherwise, you will end up doing gunna like this, nasa. If you want to do like experiment, check when you are saying nasa, nasa. Your tongue is touching your upper palate. But when you're hiding, zila, tongue is just floating in the mouth somewhere in the ear. It's not touching anywhere. Wama zila alal malakaini. Ain fata'a from the middle of the throat. Lam fata lal. Alal. Mim fata ma. Lam fata la. Mala kaf ya kasra kai. Malakai nun kaf ya fatha kai. Nun kasrani. Malakaini. Ya is sakin, and before that you see there is a fatha. So here we have ya leen. Leen letters are such letters which we read them gently without stretching or suddenly pausing. Alal malakaini bibabila. Ba kasra bi, ba alif fatha ba, biba. Never ignore this alif because this alif is madda here. If you see fatha before alif, alif is madda. We read it by stretching up to one alif. Bibabila. Ba kasra bi, ba alif fatha ba, biba, ba kasra bi, bibabi, lam fatha la, bibabila, bibabila. وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت. Ha alif fatha ha. If you see, same pattern. Before alif you have fatha, so this alif is madda. Ra, waw, dhamma, ru. Before ra sakina there is a dhamma, then waw is madda as well. And ra is heavy because of having dhamma on the top. And ta fatha ta. Ha ruta. Ha ruta. Little bit will stretch the sound of ru and ta. Wa marut. Waw fatha wa. Mim alif fatha ma. Wa ma. Ra waw dhamma ru and ta sakin. Wa marut. We made the last letter silent by ourselves because this is the sign of pause here. Haruta wa marut. Haruta wa marut. Wama. Waw fatha wa. Mim alif fatha ma. Wama. Because alif is madda. Yu'allimani. Ya dhamma yu. Ain lam fatha al. Yu'al. Lam kasra li. Yu'alli. Mim vertical fatha ma. Yu'allima. Noon kasra ni. Yu'allimani. Yu'allimani. يعلمان. ميم نون كسرة من، حمزة فتاة من، ح فتحة دال تو كسرة دن، أحد أحد. Same like عين, ha is also from the middle of the throat, and in order to pronounce it from the middle of the throat, you have to open the mouth wide and try to exhale the air out. Ha, ha, like this. Ha. Okay? Ha fatah, ha. If you say ha like other ha, then it will be lahne jali, which can change the meaning of Quranic words. So try avoiding these types of mistakes. Min ahadin hatta. Again, ha is from the middle of the throat. Ta vertical fatha ta. Hatta hatta yakula. Ya fatha ya. Qaf waw damaqu. Yaqu. Lam alif fatha la. If you see, we have two madda letters here. Madda letters means the letters which we read by stretching up to one alif. If there is a sukoon on waw, it means waw sakin, and there is a dhamma before it, then waw is madda, and before alif, if you see fatha, then alif is madda. Yakula, yakula. So we will read it by stretching, and here after the madda letter, which is alif, you see hamza in the next word. Again, you will apply the rule of madde muttasil, and munfasil, and you will stretch it up to 2.5 alif. Yaqula innama, innama. Hamza nun kasra in, nun fatana, inna, mim alifata ma, innama. Whenever you see shadda on nun, you have to hold that nun sound by doing nasalization. So here we are inna, innama, innama, ma, alif is madda. Nahnu, nun hafata nah, nun dama nu. Nahnu, nahnu. Try to say ha from the middle of the throat by opening the mouth wide and exhaling the air out. Nahnu, nahnu. Min ahadin hatta yakula innama nahnu fitnatun fala takfur. Fitnatun fala takfur. If I say fitnatun fala takfur, then I'm missing a rule here. What is this rule here? This is ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide. The rules which we are applying on noon sakin, we have to apply on tanween as well. Tanween is your two fathas, two kasras, two dhammas. Because tanween also sound like a noon sakin, like having noon at the end when there is no noon. So that's why their rules are common. Ikhfa means to hide the sound of noon sakin or tanween if you see ikhfa letters after them. So fa is from the 15, among the 15 letters which are called ikhfa letters. Fitnatun fala. Fa ta kasra fit, noon fatana. Fitna, ta to dhamma, tun. You have to make it incomplete. If you say tun, then you will end up doing gunna. When we are doing ikhfa, our tongue is not touching anywhere in the mouth. When we are doing gunna, it's tightly pressed with the upper palate. Okay, try saying innama, innama, and observe the position of the tongue. But when you're saying fitna, don't try to complete the n sound and observe where is the position of the tongue. Fitna fala. It's suspended in the air in the mouth. Okay, it's not touching anywhere. Fitna fala takfur. Fa fatha fa, lam alif fatha la, fala. This alif is madda because there is a fatha before it. You can't ignore it. You have to read it. Fala takfur, takfur. Ta ka fatha tak, fa ra dhamma fur. Ra is sakin, and before that, if you see there is a dhamma, then ra is heavy. Takfur. Fitnatun fala takfur. فيتعلمون فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء بين المرء وزوجه. Let's see the rules here. So in the word فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ. We have ayn, which is from the middle of the throat, and see the same pattern which is repeating here, that before waw sakina you have dama. So waw is madda here, means we have to read it by stretching up to one alif. Fa fata fa, ya fata ya, faya, ta fata ta, fayata, ayn, lam fata al, fayata al, lam fata la, fayata alla, ayn from the middle of the throat, mim waw damamu, nun fatana, fayata'allamuna, fayata'allamuna, minhuma, mim nun kasra min, hadamahu, minhu, mim alifatama, minhuma, mim alifatama. Here in the word minhuma and then ma, in both situations alif is madda. Again I'm repeating what are the madda letters. These are the letters which we read by stretching up to one alif, and there is a specific pattern for alif to be a madda, that it should be having a fatha before it. Okay, so whenever you see fatha before alif, it means you have to read alif by stretching up to one alif. Minhuma, minhuma, ma yufarriquna, ya dama yu, fa ra fatha far, yufar ra kasrari, yufarri, qaf waw dama qu, qaf is heavy, nun fatana, quna, because we have two dots in Arabic. One is this one and one is having two dots on top. So the dotted one is the heaviest one, heavy one, and the other one is the light. So whenever you say qaf, the back or the root of your tongue should be touching the upper palate, the soft part of your upper palate or upper mouth. Okay, yufarriquna, quna. If you say yufarriquna, you will replace this qaf with this kaf and end up doing lahni jali, the mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic words. Yufarriquna bihi, ba kasra bi, ha vertical kasra, hi, bihi, ba ya fatha bay, nun fatana, bayna, and this noon is connected with Islam. So noon lam fatha nal, baynal, mim ra fatha mar, hamza kasra I, mar'i. So before ra sakina there is a fatha. This ra is heavy. If you have fatha on ra, if you have dama on the ra, if you see ra sakin but there is a fatha before it or dama before it, in all these situations ra is heavy. Hamza kasra I, mar'i, waw fatha wa, za waw fatha zaw, wa zaw, jim kasra ji, and ha sakin. Because we're pausing here, so we will drop the harka, we will make it ha. Zawjih, jih, jih, zawjih. فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْهُمَا مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ. Waw fatha wa, mim alif fatha ma, wa ma, alif is madda, that's why we're stretching, and hum bi. Now let's see the rule here. This is the rule of mim sakin. After mim sakin, which is silent mim, if you see letter ba, then you have to do the gunna or nasalization in this mim sound. Wama hum, ba kasra bi, dod, alif and ra we will read together. Bidorina, bidor, dor, rina. Let's see the rules here. First we have to do gunna here. Wama hum bidorina. Dod, alif and ra we have to read together, and then ra ya kasra ri. And we have to stretch this mud up to 3 alifs. Okay, this is madde lazim. What is madde lazim? Let's see. So after the madda letter, if you see shadda, okay, or sukune asli, like original sukun, the sukun which is occurring by itself, we haven't made it. Okay, so here you have sukun, hidden sukun. If you open this shadda, you will see there are two ra. One ra is having sukun, the other is having kasra. So if this situation occurs, you see this mud sign, then you have to stretch it up to 3 alif. Ba kasra bi, dod, alif and ra. You have to read together, dod, alif, fatha and ra sakin. Bidor. Ra ya kasra ri. Bidorina. Bidor. Dor. Rina. وما هم بدورين به با kasra bi ha vertical kasra hi bihi mim nun kasra min bihi min hamza fataha ha fataha aha dal to kasra din ahadin hamza lam kasra il lam alif fatha la illa. I have read this alif because there is a fatha before it, so this alif is madda. You can't ignore it. You can't say illa. Illa, illa. You have to read by stretching it up to one alif. Min ahadin illa bi'idhnillah. Ba kasra bi, hamza, dhal kasra idh. Bi'idh. Now, you have to avoid the za pronunciation here. Never say bi'iznillah. It's bi'idh, idh. Your tongue should be touching the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Bi'idh. Noon, lam kasra nil, lam vertical fatha la, nilla. And this ha we will make silent because we are pausing at this point. Bi'idhnillah, la. Okay. And before the letter lam in the word Allah, we have kasra, we have read it right, light. If there is a fatha or dhamma, we will make it heavy. This rule is just for the letter lam in the word Allah. Before I move to the next page, let me recite it one time. وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله. Let's see the next part of this ayah. ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون. So let's see it from the beginning now. واو فتوا يا فتيا ويا تا فتتا ويتا عين لام فتعل ويتعل لام فتلا ويتعل ميم وضممو نون فتنا ويتعلمون ويتعلمون. So here ain is from the middle of the throat, and here you see the same pattern that waw is and there is a dhamma before it. So we have waw as a madda here. We will stretch it up to one alif. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ Mim alifatama. Again, alif is madda. Alif, before alif, you see there is a fatha, which makes it madda. Ma. You have to read it by stretching. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مَا يَدُرُّهُمْ Ya fataya. Dod. Ra. Dama dur. Ra. Dama ru. Durru. Ha. Mim dama hum. Durruhum. Dod is heavy because from the heavy letters or full mouth letters, which are called musta'aliya letters. Among 29 Arabic alphabets, you have 7 which you have to read heavy at any cost. Ra is heavy because of having dhamma on top of it. Ra is not from the musta'aliya letters, but we make it heavy if we see it under certain conditions. So here one of this condition will apply, which is that ra is having dhamma, so ra is heavy. Yadurruhum wala yanfa'uhum. Waw fatha wa, lam alif fatha la. We are reading this alif because there is a fatha before it. It means alif is madda. Wala yanfa'uhum. Ya nun fatha yon. I have hidden this noon sound because I'm doing ikhfa here. Ikhfa means to hide the noon sakin or tanween sound under certain conditions. So after noon sakin, if you see fa or any ikhfa letters, which are 15 in number, fa is one of these. So you have to hide this noon sound. Yanfa, yanfa. And while hiding, make sure your tongue is not touching anywhere in it. Otherwise, you will end up doing ghunna. We need ikhfa here. We don't need ghunna. Okay. So this is yanfa'uhum, yanfa'uhum. Ya nun fata, yan fa fata fa. Yanfa عندما عو. ينفع ha mim damahum. ينفعهم. واو fata fa, lam fata la, wala. Qaf dal fata qad, wala qad. Qaf is heavy because of having fatha, qaf is heavy because it's from musta'aliya letters. Dal is having qalqala here. Okay, what are the qalqala letters? Qalqala letters are your bouncing letters, or there is a reflection or echo in their sound when they are sakin. So these are 5. Qaraf, ta, ba, jim, dal. When they are having sukoon, qalqala is visible. So here you have strong qalqala because your word is ending with a qalqala letter and it's sakina. Wala qad, qad. So there is a bounce or reflection in the sound. Alimu, ain fada'a, lam kasrali, ali, mim wadamamu, alimu. Ain is from the middle of the throat because it's from halkiya letters. Halkiya letters are the letters which are pronounced from the halak, meaning throat. So this is from exactly middle part of your throat. Ain fatah, a. Lam kasrali, ali, mim wadamamu, alimu, alimu. Before waw sakin you have dama, so this waw is madda. Try reading it by stretching up to one alif. Alimu, lam fatha la, mim fatha ma, lama. Noon sheen kasra nish, lama nish. Ta fatha ta, ra vertical fatha ra, which makes the ra heavy because of vertical harkat. Ra is heavy. Ha damahu, lama nish tarahu. So here ra was having because of heavy because of having dama on top of it. Here ra is having because of having vertical fatha on top of it. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ ما له في الآخرة من خلاق. Okay, so let's see the rules in this one. Mim alif fatha ma, lam fatha la, ma la, ha inverted dhamma. Vertical harkat are our long vowels, so we have to read them by stretching up to one alif. Ma lahu, same like madda letters. Ma lahu. Fa, lam kasra fil, hamza, vertical fatha a. Fil a, kha kasra khi. Fil akhi, ra fatha ra, ta kasra ti. Fil akhirati. Kha is heavy because it's from the heavy letters. Ra is heavy because of having fatha on the top. So make these two letters heavy here. Fil akhirati, khirati. This is ta marbuta, but its pronunciation is same like the other ta having dots. So ta kasrati. Fil akhirati min khalaq. Mim nun kasra min. Kha fatha kha, min kha, lam alif fatha la, and qaf sakin because we have to do pause here or waqf here. So we are dropping the harakas from the qaf, making it silent. Khalaq, khalaq. And it means that we have given qaf a sukoon. So also from the qalqala or bouncing letters. And if you make it silent and it's occurring at the end, then there will be a strong qalqala. Khalaq. Like Kul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, min sharri ma khalaq. So all these are also silent. That's why there is a proper qalqala or echo in the sound. ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولا بئس واو فتى و لام فتى لا ولا با hamza kasra bi sin fatha sa. Whenever you see that hamza is sakina having sukoon sign, you have to give it a sudden pause. La bi'sa, 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 mu'minuna, yu'minuna, like this. Wala bi'sa ma sharaw. Mim alif fatha ma, alif is madda, ma, shin fatha sha, ra, wa fatha raw, sharaw. Waw is lean here, means you have to read it gentle, without stretching, without sudden pausing. And what are the situations under which waw is lean? You should have fatha before waw sakina. Okay, so it's sharaw. A and O sound is there. Sharaw. Bihi. Bihi. Ba kasra bi. Ha vertical kasra hi. And this mad is madde munfasil because there is a hamza in the next word. So you have to stretch it up to 2.5 alif. Bihi anfusahum. Hamza nun fatha an, but we have to hide this noon sound by doing ikhfa, meaning hiding. So you have to say anfusahum. If you say anfusahum, it will not change the meaning because it will be lahne khafi, the hidden mistakes, but it can destroy the beauty of recitation. Anfusahum, hamza nun fatha fa damafu, anfu sin fatha sa, anfusa ha mim damahum, anfusahum, anfusahum. ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم. لام واو فتى لو. كاف ألف فتى كا. نون واو دمنو كانوا. يا عين فتى يا. لام فتى لا يعلى. ميم واو دممو. نون ساكن يعلمون. لام واو فتى لو. So same like ما شروا. رو لو. Here waw was lean, meaning we have to read it gentle without stretching or suddenly pausing. And in this case, before waw sakin, there is a fatha, same pattern. Waw is lean, meaning you have to read it gentle. Kanu. Kaf alif fatha ka. Before alif you have fatha, noon waw dama nu. Before waw sakin you have dama. So here alif is fatha and waw is madda. These are the madda letters. What are the madda letters? These are such letters which we read like long vowels by stretching them up to one alif. Ya'lamoon. Ain is from the middle of the throat. And here in the word moon, you can stretch up to 2.5 or 1 or 3 alif. Because here we will apply the rule of madde arid lis sakun. And in this situation, if your second last letter is your madda letter and last letter you are making silent by yourself, the best is to stretch up to 3 alif. It's more mustahab. Okay? Ya'lamoon, like this. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَمَثُوبَةٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ. Waw fatha wa, lam waw fatha law, walau, hamza nun fatha an, nun fatha na. So you have to do ghunna in the noon sound, an, by holding it, an, like this, ha mim dama hum. Walau annahum amanu. Hamza vertical fatha a, mim fatha ma, ama, noon waw dama nu, amanu, amanu. So here we have stretched alif because of vertical fatha and nu waw as a dama. Okay, madda letters are the letters which we read by stretching. Waw is madda because there is a dama before it. Amanu wattaqaw. Waw ta fatha wat, ta fatha ta, watta. Emphasize whenever you see the shadda in order to pronounce the letter twice. Wattaqaw. Qaf waw fatha qaw. Wattaqaw. Lamathubatum. Lam fatha la, mim fatha ma, lama. Tha waw dama thu. Lamathu. Lamathu. Tha, it's tha. It's not seen. So you have to touch the tip of your tongue with the inner edges of your top two front teeth. If you say lamassu, you let this air flow out from the mouth, then this will replace itself with the seen and the meaning will change. So it is lamathubatum, lamathubatum, ba fataba, ta mim to dama tum, lamathubatum, tum. You have to do merging here, which is called idgham. Okay, idgham means to merge the sounds, as well as you have to do nasalization, meaning gunna. Lamathubatum, tum, min indillahi. Ta mim to dama tum, mim nun kasra min, tum min, ain nun kasra dal kasra di, di. This is ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide the sound of nun sakin. So why you have to hide this nun sakin sound? Because there is letter dal which is from the ikhfa letters. Remember, we don't have to do gunna here. If you say indi, then your tongue is touching the upper palate like this, you will end up doing gunna. Ikhfa means to hide the sound, and you have to make it incomplete. Indi. If you say indi, you will end up doing gunna. If you want to check, you say annahum. See the position of your tongue. And if you're reading indi, see the position of your tongue. How much difference is there? Next is dal, lam kasra dil, lam vertical fatha la, dilla, ha kasra hi, dillahi. Before the letter lam in the word Allah, if you have kasra, you will make it light. So here lam is light. Khair, kha, ya fatha khay, ra sakin, khair. This ya is lean here. Okay. What are the lean letters which we read gentle? And there are vowel lean, ya lean. And if you want to learn more about lean letters, this best to learn is Surah Quraysh, because all the ayah endings are with the lean letters. And I will be doing a session on Surah Quraysh inshallah tomorrow 1 p.m. UK time. So I have done till Surah Ma'un from the Juz Amma, and now Surah Quraysh is the next. So tomorrow 1 p.m. I will be doing that session, and I will explain all the rules in Surah Quraysh as well. Indillah khair. Kha ya fatha khay, ra sakin, khair. So here we can also apply the rule of madde lean. Okay, madde lean arid. But best is to shorten it if you see lean letters before stopping. And if you see madda letters before stopping like this, it's best to elongate them up to 3 alif. Law kanu ya'lamun. Lam waw fatha law. Kaf alif fatha ka, noon waw dama nu. Kanu. Waw is lean, read it gentle. Kanu. Stretch the word, stretch the letter alif here and then waw here, because these are madda letters. Okay, madda letters are the letters which we read them by stretching up to 1 alif. Lam, waw fatha law, kanu, ya'lamun. Ya, ain fatha ya. Remember to pronounce the ain from the middle of the throat. If you say ya'lamun, then it will replace itself with a hamza, and you can fall into lahne khafi, lahne jali, the clear mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic words. Ya'lamun. Ya, ain fatha ya, lam fatha la, ya'la, mim waw dama mu, noon sakin. So here I have option to stretch up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif, but I will stretch it up to 3 alif because this is best to do in this case. Ya'lamun, like this, because I have kept all endings same. If I have done the stretching here up to 1, I can't apply the 3 here. And if I have done 2.5, same, I can't do 1 here. I have to make all the endings same by applying the madde arid lis sakun rule. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu dhurna wasma'u. Ya is having vertical fatha, and I told you like vertical fatha and the madda letters, they are same in pronunciation. And after that there is a hamza in the same word. So this is madde muttasil, and the amount is 2.5 alif. Read it by stretching. Ya ayyuhal. Ya ayyuhalladhina. Hamza ya fatha, ay ya dama yu, ayyu ha lam fatha hal, ayyuhal. لام فتح لا أيها لا ذال يا كسر ذي نون فتح نا ذين يا أيها الذين Ya is madda, so I have stretched. Amanu. Hamza, vertical fatha a, mim fatha ma, ama. Noon, waw dama nu. Amanu. Lam, alif fatha la. Amanu la. Ta fatha ta, qaf waw dama qu. Taqu, lam waw dama lu. Taqulu. So you see the madda letters are the frequently occurring one. So you have to keep an eye on this and never ignore in the recitation. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا. Before ya there is a kasra, ya is madda. Before waw sakin there is a dama, and in all these three cases waw is madda. Okay. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا. Ra alif fatha ra. Ra is having because of having fatha on top, and because of this ra alif is also heavy. So if you see alif after the heavy letters qaf, swad, dot, ta, the, ghain and qaf, kha, swad, dot, ta, za, ghain and qaf. After these if you see alif, make it heavy, and in this situation ra is heavy, although it's not from the musta'aliya letters, but it's having fatha, that's why it's heavy. So alif is also heavy. Ra, ain, kasra'i, ra'i, noon, alif fatana, ra'ina, 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 from the middle of the throat. And here alif is madda, ra'ina, wa kulun durna, waw fatawa, qaf wa damaqu, lam, noon damalun, wa kulun. But you have to hide this noon sound, so you have to say wakulun. This hiding is called ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide the noon sakin or tanween sound if you see ikhfa letters after that. Okay, what are the ikhfa letters? These are 15 in number, and wakulun durna, wakulun durna, dha is one of these. Plus dha is heavy as well because it's from the heavy letters like kaf. Ra is heavy because there is a dhamma before it. So here kaf is heavy, dha is heavy, ra is heavy. This ra is also heavy. So let's see how to read. Ra'ina wa qulu durna, durna. Now dha is from the tip of your tongue. If you say zurna and you're not controlling the tongue, so you have to little bit take the tongue out when you're saying durna, dha, and you have to touch it with the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Okay. Ra'ina wa kulu durna wasma'u. Waw sin fata was, mim fata ma, wasma'in wa dama'u, wasma'u. Ra'ina wa kulu durna wasma'u. Before going to the next page, let's read it one more time, and if you have any questions you can ask. ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا. وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. So let's see the rules inshallah here. Waw fatha wa, lam lam kasra lil, walil, kaf vertical fatha ka, walil ka, fa kasra fi, ka fi, ra ya kasra ri. Okay, same pattern that before ya sakin you have kasra. So ya is madda here, means you have to read it by stretching up to one alif. Walil kafirina, ka you are stretching, ri you are stretching, na. وللكافرين عين فتاة from the middle of the throat, ذال ألف فتاة ذا, عذا ba to the ma bun, عذاب عذاب, ذا I haven't said زاب, عذاب عذاب أليم. Zal is from the tip of the tongue when it touches the inner edges of your top two front teeth. So this is from the Lithavia letters. I have a video on my channel about Lithavia letters. If you want to know more about the pronunciation of Zal, the and tha, you can check that out, because mostly people are making mistake here and they end up reading it like a za, and if the moment you do so, you will fall into lahne jali. These are such mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic words. Same like if you can't say qul properly, and if you say kul, the meaning will change from say he Allah is the one to eat he Allah is the one. Qul huwallahu ahad. If you say kul, the meaning will change. Similarly, there is another word alim, ain. Ain, lam, and ya and mim. Alim. The meaning is the most knowledgeable. It's the name of Allah. And this word is alim, adabun alim, the horrible punishment. If you change ain with a hamza, then you can see the meaning changing very much, like a difference is there. So we will end up reading wrong, and these mistakes are forbidden to make. So make sure that you don't make the mistakes when pronouncing the letters. Adabun alim walilkafirina. Artha, zal from the tip of the tongue, and touch it with the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Ba to the mabun, hamza fata'a, lam ya kasra li, mim sakin. Alim. Walil kafirina azabun alim. Mim alif fatha ma. Alif is madda because there is a fatha before it. Yawaddul ladina. Ya fatha ya, waw, dal fatha wad. Yawad, dal, lam dama dul. Yawaddul, lam fatha la. Yawaddul la. Zal, ya kasra zi. If I say z, it will be wrong. So you have to suppress that buzz sound and you have to say Yawaddul ladina. Zina. Zal, ya kasra zi. Nun fatha na. Yawaddul ladina. Kafataka, fafatafa, kafa, ra waw dama, ru, kafa, ru. Before waw sakin, there is a dama. So what is waw here? Madda. Okay, waw madda means you have to read it by stretching it. Kafaru min ahlil kitabi. Mim, nun kasra min, hamza, hafata ah. Min lam, lam kasra lil. Min ahlil, kaf kasra ki. Ta is having vertical fatha, so stretch it. Kita, ba kasra bi. Min ahlil kitabi. Waw fatha wa, lam, lam fatha lal. Walal, mim, shin dama mush. Walal mush. Ra kasra ri, kaf ya kasra ki. Mushriki, nun fatha na. Walal mushrikina. Hamza, ya dama. Sorry, Hamza, ya fatha. Ay. So after the noon sakin, you see the letter ya. So it will be idgham, meaning merging, but without gunna. Hamza, ya, fata, ain, ya, dama, you. Ain, you. Noon, za, fata, naz, za, fata, za. Emphasize because za is twice. Ain, yunazza. Lam, fata, la. Ain, yunazzala. Ain, yunazzala. Ain, fata, lam, ya, fata, lay. Alay. Ain is from the middle of the throat. Kaf, mim, dama, kum. Alaykum. Alaykum min. So here we are not reading this meme but this meme. So what I have explained before, I will explain again. If you see, there are three letters, A, B, and C. Letter A is having any sign like fatha, kasra, dama. Okay, any haraka, I mean. Letter B is sakina, having sukoon sign, and letter C is having shadda, this W shaped sign. Okay, letter A is having a haraka, B is sakina, C is having shadda sign. So what you have to do, you have to remove the letter B, or you have to drop the letter B, and you have to join letter A with the C. Okay, A with the C by dropping B. So because in this meme, you already have one meme sakin. If you open this shadda, you have two memes. One is having sakoon, other one is having kasra. Okay, so this kaf is needing, we are needing it here more than this. So we will drop this and we will join this kaf dama with this meme. Kum, alaykum, meme nun kasra min. Alaykum min. And here what I've told you, the shadda ones are the twice letter. So here are two meme, one is sakin, one is having kasra. So after meme sakin, if you see another meme, you have to do the gunna in the meme sakin sound. This is called idgham for meme sakina. Okay. Alaykum, kum, min. You have to hold the sound. Alaykum min khayrim, khayrim. Kha ya fatha khay. Ra meme to kasra rim. Khayrim meme nun kasra min. So I will come to this. First let me explain what is the rule here. So when you say khayrim, khayrim, rim, you see there is tanween. Okay, tanween is your two fathas, two kasras, two damas. So after two kasra, you see there is a letter meme. After two kasras, there is letter meme. Meme is from the Yarmaloon letters. Yarmaloon letters are, if you write the word Yarmaloon, it itself is an abbreviation. Ya, Ra, Meme, Lam, Waw, and Noon. So meme is from the Yarmaloon letters. After tanween, like two fathas, two kasras, two damas, or Noon Sakin, if you see Yarmaloon letters, you do idgham. What is idgham? Idgham means to merge. Okay, but sometimes we are doing merging with gunna, without gunna. In this case of meme, after two kasras, we will do idgham, meaning merging with gunna. Okay, so you have to do nasalization here also. Khayrim, rim, mir rabbika. And here is that rule, idgham without gunna, that after noon sakin, you have letter ra, which is again from the Yarmaloon letters, but here you will just merge the sound, you will not do gunna. So after tanween, which is two fathas, two kasras, two damas, or noon sakin, because they sound same, so their rules are same. So if you see after them any Yarmaloon letters except lam and ra, you will do merging plus gunna, and for ra and lam you will just merge without gunna. So you have to read it like this. أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم من ربكم. If I say من ربكم, it's wrong because there is no nasalization here. خير خير من ربكم والله يختص. There is a rule for this letter lam in the word Allah. And this is specifically for the letter lam in the word Allah. Anywhere else you see lam is always light. So here when you see the letter lam in the word Allah, sometimes you read it heavy, sometimes you read it light. And it depends what comes before it. So if there is a fatha before this letter lam in the word Allah, we will make it heavy. If there is a kasra, light. And if there is dhamma, again heavy. So if there is a fatha or dhamma before the letter lam in the word Allah, then you have to make this lam heavy. Wallahu, wallahu. Okay, and if there is dhamma, wallahu. But if there is kasra, light, willahu, like this, or lillahi. So here lam is heavy, as well as because of this vertical harka, we are stretching it. So waw, lam, fatha, wal, we are reading this lam, not this one. Okay, these two we are just dropping. This is the waw and this is lam, we are joining them. Waw, lam, fatha, wal, lam, vertical fatha, la, walla, hadamahu, wallahu, wallahu, wallahu. Yakhtassu. Ya kha fatha yakh. Kha is heavy because it's from the heavy letters. Ta sod fatha tas sodama su. Yakhtassu. Yakhtassu. Sod is heavy as well. Now, you have to see the pronunciation of letter sod and how it's different from the letter sin. If you say yakhtassu, it will be sin. But if you say yakhtassu, it will be sod. When you are reading the letter sin, see that your lips are spreading more. Okay, sin or su. But when you are reading sod, the lips are a little bit rounded and you have to keep them round like this. When you are saying yakhtassu, yakhtassu, all the swad is not pronounced from the lips. But I'm just telling you the difference between seen and swad sound. If you read it light, you will end up saying seen and it will be lahne jali, the clear mistake which can change the meaning of Quranic words. Wallahu yakhtassu bi rahmatihi. Ba kasra bi. Ra ha fatha roh. Ra is having fatha, so it's heavy. Mim fatha ma ta kasrati bi rahmati. Ha vertical kasra hi. Bi rahmatihi. Bi rahmatihi. And ha is from the middle of the throat. In order to pronounce ha from the middle of the throat, open the mouth wide and try to exhale the air out. Rah, rah, like this hissing sound should be there. Okay, or as if you are running out of the breath. When you are jogging and trying to breathe, how the sound is coming? Ha, 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 like this. Okay, so ha should be like this sound where you have to exhale the air out and you have to pronounce it from exactly from the middle of your throat. Birahmatihi, birahmatihi. Because if you say birahmatihi, same like swad, we can't replace with the sin. If you say birahma, this ha will be replaced with the other this ha, which is from the bottom of the throat. And the moment you will change them, the meaning will change as well. So we have to avoid these mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic words by learning the correct pronunciation of the letters. Wallahu yakhtassu birahmatihi, birahmatihi man yasha, man yasha. Mim ya fatha my sound is there because after noon sakin you see there is letter ya. When I was explaining Yarmalun letters, what I said, mim ra, you write the word Yarmalun, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, and noon. All these letters are the Yarmalun letters. And after noon sakin or tanween, if you see them, you have to do idgham, meaning merging. But here will be with gunna. So man yasha. Mim ya fatha may ya fatha ya may ya sheen alif fatha sha. Because of this fatha, this alif is madda. Okay, and soon after madda letter hamza is in the same word, so this mad is because of madde muttasil, attached mad. Its name is madde muttasil, and amount of stretching is 2.5 alifs. The time you take to say alif, alif, and half of that alif, like that much time you will take to stretch this mad. Man yasha. And hamza is sakina. We are dropping this dhamma on top of it because we are pausing here. And whenever you see the sukoon on hamza, you give it a sudden pause, like bisa, yasha, ikra. Okay, yasha, man yasha, wallahu. Same like this, wallahu. This lam is heavy because there is a fatha before it. If there is a kasra, it will be light. If there is dhamma, again it will be heavy. Wallahu dhul fadlil azim. Wow, lam fatha wal, lam vertical fatha la. Wallah, hadamahu, wallahu, dhal, lam, dhamma, dhul, fa, dot fatha, fad, dhul fad, lam, lam kasra lil, dhul fadlil. So these between the fatha kasra dhamma ones and sukoon ones, whatever comes between, we will just drop it. We have to join this dhal with this lam. Dhul fadlil azim. Ain fada'a, which is from the middle of the throat. The is heavy. Ya, the, ya kasra, the. Ya is madda because before ya sakina there is a kasra, so you have to stretch it. And meme is sakin because ayah is completed. So when the meme is sakin and second last letter is your madda letter, you can stretch it up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif by applying the rule of madde arid lis sakun here. Okay, so I have stretched all the endings up to 3, so I will keep the counting same here as well. Azim. وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. This was our today's target, to complete up to ayah 105. Alhamdulillah, we have achieved it. Now let's do the recitation one more time from ayah 101, and inshallah tomorrow again 8:30 UK time I will be there with Surah Baqarah next ayahs, and 1 p.m. UK time I will be coming with Surah Al-Quraish. I will be breaking down all the rules, and I will be doing a live session 1 p.m. UK time on Surah Al-Quraish, inshallah ta'ala. So let's do one more citation. And if you have any questions, you can ask, inshallah. I will try to reply you. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ Sam 1 p.m. inshallah UK time for Surah Quraysh, because I'm doing the short surah session every other day, but regular sessions are for Surah Baqarah also in the night time. So 1 p.m. UK time will be Surah Quraysh inshallah recitation plus Tajweed breakdown, and again 8:30 UK time will be Surah Baqarah session, in which I will do ayah 106 to 110 inshallah. If you have any questions, you can ask, inshallah. Aftab Khan, thank you so much. May Allah accept it from us, inshallah, in the blessed nights of Ramadan. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يضر ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم Sadaqallahul Azim. So this was the end of our session. Alhamdulillah, we managed to complete 105 ayahs. I thank you all. May Allah reward you all for staying till the end and listening and learning the Tajweed rules. Inshallah, may Allah accept it from all of us. So inshallah, we will do tomorrow evening or tomorrow night 106 till 110 ayah number, and the timing will be 8:30 UK time. So if you have subscribed to my channel, inshallah you will get the notification when I will come online. I will come live, and tomorrow in the daytime 1 p.m. I will be doing a session on Surah Al-Quraysh. If you are interested in learning the Tajweed rules in the short surahs, so every other day I will be doing the surahs. So I have reached till Surah Quraysh. Inshallah, tomorrow is Surah Quraysh, and then Surah Fil and all these surahs inshallah I will try to cover. If you have any questions, you can ask, and inshallah I will see you tomorrow in another live session. Till then, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's end our session by sending the salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I will recite and I want you, all of you, to join me in this, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidum majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Allahumma ajirni minan nar, Allahumma ajirni minan nar, Allahumma ajirni minan nar. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay tuned and keep learning. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.